Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen? This is David Benjamin from HealthyWildAndFree.com. Today I want to share with you the latest and greatest information regarding your gut health and how you can get your diet on track in the most scientifically and technologically relevant and valuable, useful way for you and your gut health specifically. Now, before I get into the content of today's video, I want to back up and talk about why it is that people are out here claiming their latest and greatest diet fad is the answer to all of the health problems in the world. Where do I begin with this one? I don't know where or how people come up with diets, but they're all complete bullshit. I've been in the health industry, I've been in the health world for years now, years upon years. I've been teaching and training and coaching and educating on health and wellness, nutrition, health technology. I have many friends, doctors, researchers, people who are holistic practitioners, people who have health technology that's worth, machines and things that are worth tens of thousands of dollars, people from all over the country and world. And in my experience and in my process, I have learned that diets are complete BS. Now let me explain before you go, whoa, hold up, I found a diet that works for me. The reason people create diets is because people need something to grasp in order to believe that they're making progress in their life. Say for example, you want to lose weight. Well, if you try a new diet that's slightly healthier than yours, well yeah, you might lose some weight, you might lose some fat, but is it the healthiest diet and is it going to help you long term to release that fat from your body and keep your gut microbiome healthy? Maybe, but maybe not. That's where technology comes in. See, people who are teachers and educators in this space, they take science and they extract that research, or they extract that study or group or series of studies and amplify those into, a diet book, for example. So say for example, we're talking about, it could really be anything: vegan, paleo, ketogenic, even the Atkins diet, the list could go on and on and on. Some of these diets are based in, these are how your macronutrients, this is the ratio of your macronutrients, fats, carbs, proteins, etc. And then other diets are more, just eat healthy and, just focus on your health. For me specifically, I don't follow a diet routine because I believe that diet routines and the latest science is going to continuously change and evolve. And for people, for authors, for teachers, to focus exclusively on, for example, let's talk fruitarians. You're just going to eat fruit 80% of your diet. Well, maybe your body wasn't engineered that way unless you grew up on an island where fruit was your main source of food and that's what your ancestors ate. And then someone like Steve Jobs comes along and so becomes a fruitarian and then ends up getting pancreatic cancer later in his life. And I'm not saying that his fruitarian diet and cancer is correlated, but it could be because a fruitarian-based diet is very high in sugar, albeit fruit sugar, but still sugar. So what I'm getting at is, if you follow a specific diet, whether it be vegan, paleo, ketogenic, don't follow Atkins diet, God no, please, that's one of the worst. What you're doing to your health is you're causing your body, all you're doing is making changes. All you're doing is creating change within your microbiome, you're making change within your cellular health, your mitochondria, the way your body produces energy, whether it's more of a short-term energy or a long-term energy. Shorter energy comes from fruits and carbs and things like that. Longer-term energy comes from fats. But it's good to have both. It's not good to just exclusively focus on fats or exclusively focus on fruits. That makes no absolute logical sense. And what it does long-term is it preconditions your gut microbiome to be more susceptible to imbalances, disharmony, and potential growth of yeast, fungus, bacteria, etc., etc. These types of strains that are not healthy for your health and your gut microbiome and your health and well-being in general, not to mention causing fat gain. So what I want to share with you today is, in my life and like I said, in my research and in my work, I am focused on not working harder, but working smarter. And recently I found, and this is actually, I found this a while ago, but I finally got acclimated with it and understood it and felt available to create a video and share this content with you confidently, knowing that it's a valuable piece of technology that you can utilize in your health to give yourself the diet that works best for you. Not for me, not for the guy down the street, Not for anyone else, but for you. And the reason being is because we all have different factors that go into our health and well-being. So let's name them real quick. We all grew up in a different environment, whether that's in the city, the country. You know, if you grew up in the city, you're exposed to more pollutants and chemicals. If you grew up in the country, you may be exposed to more pesticides and herbicides and fungicides because you grew up on a conventional farm. Or, you know, maybe you grew up, you know, in complete nature and you aren't exposed to as much of these chemicals. But then you move to the city later in your life and then your body's exposed to these chemicals and then your body has to process and deal with them. And so what I'm getting at is your diet is going to change, and it should modulate based on your environment, based on your genetics, and based on what's going on, most importantly, in your gut microbiome right now. So what's going on in your gut microbiome right now? Well, your environment could have influenced that, your genetics could have influenced that, you know, the mold in your home could be influencing that. There's a lot of factors encompassing your environment, both external and internal, in your gut microbiome that are constantly keeping your gut microbiome where it's at. So if you want to shrink your belly fat, if you want to shrink fat in general on your body, and you want to have a healthier gut microbiome, which is really your second brain, you know, it's science has proven your gut microbiome is your second brain. So if you want to think more clearly, be more creative, be more quick-witted, and have a gut microbiome that is conducive to health, and most importantly, high levels of energy, then you need to utilize technology to your advantage to find out which diet works best for you. So just to add a little bit more to the genetic side of things, if you're not familiar, look up epigenetics. Epigenetics play a 2/3 role in your health in regards to your health and well-being. So what I mean by that is genetics play a 33% role, epigenetics play a 66% role. So what that means is that my genetics, so I'm Irish, Lithuanian, Polish, French, and German, right? So ancestrally speaking, my ancestors, my Irish ancestors, for example, ate potatoes. My French ancestors, you know, probably ate breads and cheeses, and probably vegetables and fruits too, I would assume. You know, my Polish ancestors, my German ancestors, all these different ancestors ate different things. So when my grandparents conceived my parents conceived me, there are foods that are generationally or genetically more viable for my gut health. So that's one sort of channel or pathway, that's one lens to look at it through. Then there's the environmental factors. Then there's the, you know, both external and internal environmental factors. The list goes on and on and on. So what I'm getting at is, recently what I did was I found what I believe, based on my research and also the research of some of the greatest health and wellness teachers and biohackers, people including like Dave Asprey from Bulletproof, utilize in their health and wellness routine, along with myself, to create a dietary plan that is essentially perfect for you. Not for me, not the guy on the road, once again. So the company that utilizes this testing technology is called Viome, and maybe you've seen them online, maybe you haven't. They're more of it's a newer company, and what they do is they send you a kit in the mail. You send a sample of your stool, aka your shit, to them in the mail, and what they do is they put it in the lab and they assess the quality of your stool. Now, why is this important? Well, you can look at your urine, your stool, your blood, your hair, your cells. There's a lot of tests that can be done, and when you take these tests, what they do is they empower you with the correct information that you need for your health to make the appropriate decision to align your health and your wellness moving forward in a positive direction. So, I took this test, I got the app connects to your phone, and what this app does, I'll just show you right now. This app essentially just guides you through what it is that you need to do in order to keep your gut microbiome healthy and to sort of course correct your gut microbiome in order to improve your health. So this is the app right here, and as you can see, it's fairly simple, it's fairly self-explanatory. You have your overview, your foods to avoid, food preparation, and supplement recommendations. Honestly, I don't even look at the supplement recommendations because that's just a long story, but yeah, I have my own supplement recommendations. So let's look at the foods here real quick. So the foods. So when you go to the food section, it actually shows you what foods you should eat and what foods you should avoid right here. So sprouts, artichoke, It literally tells you what foods you can have and what foods you cannot have for your gut microbiome. And it goes through each individual so this is the vegetable category, so I know vegetables. Now I'm in the fruit category. These are the fruits I should eat and should not eat. These are the fruits and grains I should and should not eat. These are the herbs and spices, etc., etc. The greatest part about it is it has a search function. So the other day I was in the store and there was fresh figs, and I'm like, oh, please God, let me be able to have these fresh figs because I love fresh figs. They're amazing. And because, the dried ones just aren't nearly as good. So I typed in fig, and look at that. You type in fig, and it says enjoy right there. Enjoy. So it basically breaks it down into different categories. So what it tells you is there are foods to enjoy, there are foods to indulge, and there are foods to completely avoid. And the reason, and you can see the list, so this is the list of foods that I need to avoid. So the reason that there is a differentiating factor in, foods to indulge, enjoy, avoid, is because everything feeds your gut microbiome differently. So what this technology is doing, what Viome is doing, which I absolutely love, I'm extremely excited about, and by the way, I have a discount code for you, so stay tuned, is that they are pairing testing technology with an app, so it's accessible to me, and then they're using artificial intelligence, AI, to use the latest health and science research on these foods to know whether it feeds a bacteria, a yeast, a fungus, anything that creates dysbiosis in my gut microbiome. I know because the app is telling me where these foods are heading for my gut microbiome. So for example, I shouldn't be eating raisins right now. That's in the app. I never really eat raisins anyway, but every once in a while I get one of those trail mixes with raisins. No, I know not to get that. It's really that simple. And then there are foods in here that, it's coaching me, saying indulge or enjoy these foods that I rarely eat. So I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, well, one of the best principles in health and dietary health and coaching, if I was your personal health coach, one of the biggest recommendations I would make to you is to cycle your foods. So to have different foods and to continuously cycle your foods so that your immune system and gut microbiome is versatile, adaptable, adaptive, and can thrive, and it has a wide range of nutrients that it can rely on for health and well-being and immunity. With this app, it's utilizing AI and they're improving it over time so that as there are, for example, new bacteria or yeast or fungal strains or foods that show a correlation to feeding those strains or to helping create balance and harmony with those strains, the app is updated and all that I need to do is follow the app and eat foods that are better for my gut microbiome. So why is this valuable? Why is this important? Well, everything in your diet, everything to do with dietary health, nutrition, macronutrients, micronutrients, I'm talking literally everything, is reliant on your gut's ability to A, process nutrients, B, dispose of, discharge of, and release toxicities or any live infections such as fungal, bacterial, viral, etc., so on and so forth. So it literally has two functions. Your gut, it has more than two, but we're talking in the physical sense right now. We're not talking about intuition and your second brain, all the other layers of it, which are also benefited from this. But in order to process nutrients effectively, your gut microbiome needs to be healthy. These foreign invaders, the parasites, bacteria, fungus, all these different things, they are draining your energy, causing fat gain, causing blurry, cognitive function, stagnancy, toxicity, lymphatic toxicity, body fat, all these different health conditions and ailments, autoimmune disease, the list goes on and on and on. So if you want the healthiest gut health that you can possibly have, not based on what an expert says or what a diet says or what a book says or what the latest science says, because the latest science, honestly, is just amplified in a book and it's a marketing campaign. This is what I do, and this is what I follow, and this is what some of the smartest biohackers and health and wellness coaches and teachers that I know use as well. So I highly recommend giving it a shot. The Viome test, it's several, I think it's $400. But what it does is it's a one-time thing. You can get retested in the future as well. So what I'm going to do is probably get retested maybe in a year or so to see where I'm at in the future, or just continue follow this until I feel some sort of change. But one of the biggest things for me was I've known based on other biofeedback tests that my body does not metabolize protein that well, which doesn't allow me to like gain muscle, and that's something that I would like to do more of in my life. Just with my latest workouts and whatnot. So one of the biggest recommendations in here for me and my gut specifically was just utilize apple cider vinegar. Take apple cider vinegar. So it gives you a list of superfoods that you should be having more often, that you should be indulging in. For me, it was kale, apples, apple cider vinegar, black beans, certain things. But those are for me. Those are my foods. So yeah, they're healthy and they're beneficial overall. Every whole food has a beneficial value and nutritive value. But that doesn't mean they're beneficial for you or the next person. So I highly recommend giving this a shot. Once again, I have a list of foods to avoid. I have a list of foods, that, you can even, like I said, you can search for foods. So if, when I'm at the store, I literally just sit there and search for foods. There's foods to indulge, enjoy. And the cool thing too is if you want to get really nitty gritty with it, it actually tells you your gut, the strains of your bacteria or fungus, like all of that. So if you want to research into the depths of that science for what your gut microbiome has currently, you can do that as well. I don't really look at that too much because I'm aware that my gut microbiome is off, and everyone's gut microbiome is off. No one has a perfect gut microbiome. We live in a very toxic world where we need to be constantly improving, and I just utilize the foods to eat and not eat so that I am improving over time. So I highly recommend checking out Viome. Like I said, you can see the results as well. I could show you real quick. For me, it says my gut microbiome is a little out of balance. I have average beneficial microbiome, average unhealthy. So my metabolic fitness, it shows you, it literally shows you, like, for example, my metabolic fitness is medium. My inflammatory activity is a little on the high end. That's not good. That's surprising to me, because I take a lot of anti-inflammatory things. I take high-quality turmeric, but there were foods in my diet that were causing inflammatory activity. And every once in a while I get like a bloated stomach, and I'm not overweight or anything, I'm not obese, and I knew how to bring it back. I eat really healthy, and I always have a flat stomach, but my inflammatory activity was high. So I think one of the biggest benefits for me is knowing which foods to eat and not to eat is huge for that. You can see my gut, you can see the different strains, you can see the diversity of your where you stand in the chart, your RNA. The list goes on and on. It gives you a lot of data that you can utilize, but for me the biggest thing is just the foods that I need to eat and the foods that I need to avoid. And that's where that comes in valuable, because everyone's going to tell you something different. And I hate to be this guy that's like, everyone sucks kind of in terms of their health and dietary advice. Not that they suck, and there's a lot of great information out there, and there's specific rules too. So for example, eat seasonally, eat locally, and eat organic. So stepping the quality of your food up and eating in season, that's the highest nutritional value for those foods. But if you're eating foods that are feeding a fungus, bacteria, virus that is negative, you're going to constantly put your gut into a state of dysbiosis, which is going to lead to a variety of health conditions and ailments, and a lot of health, mainly all of your health, physically at least, with diet starts in the gut. What your gut can process, what it can't process, what's healthy or unhealthy that's being fed. Another thing to keep in mind, your gut has healthy bacteria, right? That's probiotics. Your gut has healthy fungus. Your gut has healthy yeast. Your gut has healthy strains of these things. So when we think of, no bacteria, no yeast, we live in this very, I don't know how to describe it. We live in this very sanitized world, right? And the problem with that is, we need healthy bacteria. We need healthy yeast. We need healthy fungus. Mushrooms are an amazing source of healthy fungus that's good for our gut microbiome. And lately I've been getting into more mushrooms and integrating those into my life more, and some of my recent videos show what mushrooms I take, so if you want to check that out, check it out. But you need to know which foods work for you and which foods do not work for you. And until you utilize the latest technology to tell you specifically, based on your stool test, what's working and what's not working, you're going to be flying blind in the dark for as long as you decide to fly blind in the dark. It's really that simple. So What I have for you today is the opportunity to find out where your gut health lies, how to improve it, and give you a coach in the form of an app in your pocket that you can utilize to reduce belly fat, get your gut back, get your gut microbiome healthy again, clear your brain and your thinking because your gut is your second brain, and ultimately improve your energy, your sleep, improve your entire life. So this is a one-time test, and the company, the link below, utilizing the code WILDANDFREE, you're going to save $25 off the test. So it's not a lot, but it's $25. And this test is going to improve your life, and it's something that's on your phone once again. So it's just, like, I love it, I believe in it, it's amazing, and I honestly think that when this company and when this technology reaches the mass market, because only a few people are talking about it right now, the only people I've heard it from are Dave Asprey, the founder of Bulletproof, and Naveen Jain, the founder of this company, who's a billionaire. Those are, and then like one more friend. I've only heard about this from like 3 people in my life. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Check out the link below, check out the test. Use the discount code, the link in the discount code below. I'll put the instructions below, Wild and Free, to get $25 off your test. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a lot from it. And I hope you utilize it. And if you know anyone that has, has really struggled with losing fat in a scientific and technology-driven way that's effective and personalized and customized for them, share this video with them. If you know anyone suffering with autoimmune disease or something that has to do with gut or immunity, share this with them. This is extremely valuable, and until we understand how to utilize technology like this in a positive and effective way, we're all just flying blind following people that have no idea what they're talking about, or are just exploiting little snippets of science, or are exploiting and amplifying one thing because they want to be this expert in this field. And that it's just a waste of time. I'd rather be smarter and work smarter and not be a part of the latest diet fad. I'm all about the latest and greatest health technology, and this stuff works. So, and just to give you my sort of testimonial for this, I have been utilizing this for maybe a month now or so, and I have, and like I said, my protein metabolism, I've been utilizing some of these things, and I feel like my gut is healthy. I feel like my bowel movements are a little bit better than they were before, which is not a whole lot because my gut health is quite, I do a lot for my gut health. I mean, I have I squat when I poop. I have a lot of anti-inflammatory things. I eat a lot of insoluble, soluble fibers. The list goes on and on and on. But I will say that utilizing this, I believe, has helped my protein metabolism and has helped me gain a little bit more muscle in this past month with my workouts, which for me is extremely and incredibly valuable because my protein metabolism has always been sort of difficulty for me. And I would work out, but I really wouldn't get the gains that I wanted. And lately, I've been improving my gains, and I'm feeling and looking stronger. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm going to continue this. And I haven't even followed, by the way, this app 100%. It's kind of hard to follow 100%, but I'm following like 50, 60, 70% time, and I'm improving because I'm refining. Okay, this, and I'm getting familiar with the app and just understanding what to eat, what not to eat. But as I improve that, I know my gut health is going to improve. So I'm sort of a newbie with this technology, but I really believe that it is going to improve my life and my gut health in a huge way. So I'm just excited about it, and I'm excited to share it. It's been a while since I've made a video, and this is what I've been doing. This is my latest health and wellness kick. So hope you enjoy it. Hope you get a lot of it. Check out the link below. Sign up for Viome. Get your kit in the mail. Get a test. Get a sample, and know where you're at moving forward. Because there's no point in spending money on your health and wellness if you don't even know where you're at. You need a diagnostic, and you need to know where you're at. And I'm a huge believer in testing and understanding where you're at before taking action, before introducing new things into your body, etc., etc. It's good to have those tests first, because then you're making educated, wise choices and decisions, as opposed to just buying all the latest and greatest stuff, which I do some of that too, don't get me wrong, but this is smart, and I utilize this along with other testing and biofeedback testing technology, and it's totally worth it. Thank you so much for your time. My name is David Benjamin from HealthyWildandFree.com. Please like, favorite, comment, and share this video below. It's been a long one, a lot to share. I've always been really passionate about diet and not following the latest diet fad. It's been something, I mean, I'm so glad this is available. You have no idea, because this is going to change the game, and it's going to change people's health and change people's lives, and I fully believe in it, and I fully endorse it, and I'm looking forward to seeing your feedback. So when you get the test and you see your improvements, and you shrink your gut fat and all that kind of stuff, Message me on Facebook on Healthy, Well, and Free, or on Instagram, David Healthy, Well, and Free. I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much for your time, energy, dedication. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.